So welcome back to a new video and welcome back to Denmark. Last week you saw me in these epic conditions on the Himmelbjerget, the highest point of Denmark. And at one point the light got too hard and I had so many shots there that I thought, well, let's go back home. So I drove off that hill, mountain, whatever you want to call it, Bjerg. And I drove into this enormous thick layer of fog around these beautiful lakes near the city of Silkeborg. And I just had to stop. It's still, let's have a look. It's 6:30, you know, all that beauty from last week's video. And it's still 6:30 in the morning, you know. I love these summer mornings, absolutely ridiculous. No one around, just got every piece of nature here, completely for yourself. So the first shot today, just have a look here at this tree. Beautiful, bent over, just looking towards the water there with those reeds in it, and everything is covered in fog behind it, so you can't see the other side of the lake. And also these trees on the right, they just look really aesthetic or something. So I'm trying to frame something up here that it just looks really nice. So I'm trying to use this as my main focus point here, this tree that's hanging over, and then this path trying to lead it to the back, something like that. So yeah, it just looks like a really nice shot. So let's see what we can do here. So I just walked a little bit further, and again, a real nice shot, real minimalistic here. But look at this tranquil water here, with that layer of fog behind it. Amazing. And then there's just these reeds here in the water. And I'm just concentrating on one patch of reeds with all that moody fog around it. Amazing, absolutely amazing. So this is the shot. So found another shot here with this beautiful tree here. Don't know if this is gonna work, but let's see. So that was another shot. Bit of a sketchy position here, balancing on this tree trunk here, but that top section there that's laying down just looks really aesthetic with all that fog behind it. So hope this shot has worked. At least I did my best to stand still, but it was difficult. Couldn't place the tripod there, but this is the shot. So look at this beautiful lake here behind me. Now some beautiful reflections, a little bit of fog rolling over the water. It just looks so tranquil and absolutely amazing. And I'm taking it with a little bit of a long exposure, zooming into that peninsula that's coming into the water. What more do you want? You know, absolute epic conditions here. 4 seconds. Just enough to smoothen all those ripples in the water. and it just looks really, really tranquil. What a forest, what a location with this fog. Beautiful. Hopefully I can have a little bit more of these days this week, not as yesterday with all that rain. Oh, horrible. That's the most horrible thing when you're going abroad to a different country. Yeah, and then experiencing bad weather, you know. It's really bad. It's actually quite funny because right behind me here is this boardwalk with circular shapes, but there are people swimming there and sitting on top there, so it's a bit difficult to show you what is going on there, but yeah, I think it's a beautiful spot, so maybe I'll go back there in a second and try to get some sort of fine art shot using those circles of that boardwalk. But yeah, people in Denmark apparently swim naked in those lakes, so I have to be careful what to photograph there. So yeah, I think I got this shot. Beautiful one, and I'm gonna actually try and shoot another one of this tree on the right here. You can see this. I want this as a foreground with those reeds, and then in the background I want those peninsulas with the fog. So I'm gonna try to set up that composition and then head to those boardwalks. Ten minutes before that last shot, I arrived at this boardwalk with some beautiful light, fog and atmosphere, and I found a nice composition with two people at the end of the boardwalk. It just looked really nice, but then when I pushed the shutter I noticed that they were naked. So I doubted if I wanted to show this image, but I just think it's too good. Let me know what you think in the comments. So I actually found a rather nice position here. If you look behind me, I'm using this first path here to lead to the second circle. It just looks really nice, and I'm taking it with a long exposure, so I'm using the live ND filter here to smoothen out all that water. Unfortunately, that cloud of fog on the opposite side is more to the right, so it's not in my frame, but there's still some nice mood atmosphere above that water. So I don't know, maybe this is nothing, maybe it's just some sort of fine art shot. I don't know, but at least it's worth taking an image, so this is the shot. So I just crossed the road and found a different lake, and this is totally different. The lake on the other side was crystal clear. You could see the fish swimming in there, but this lake is actually really dark. You see this water, perfect reflections, still a little bit of fog rolling over the water every now and then. But I noticed there were 3 silver birch trees on the other side of the lake there, with a little bit of fog rolling over that water. So it actually looked quite appealing to me, so I'm gonna try to find a composition and talk you through it. So this is a bit what I want to frame up. I want to use that left bush, make it a bit like this, and then those 3 silver birch trees on the right side of the frame. And I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna include any of that top there and the bottom. Just not sure, and I'm waiting for that fog to appear, giving it that atmosphere that it needs. So if it works, this is the shot. So while I'm standing on this bridge taking this shot that you just seen, I'm just looking down here. I hope you can see it. There are all these lily pads in that very tranquil dark water. And there is a yellow flower here. There are some nice pads, and there's also, if you look on this one, there is a juffer. I don't know how you call it in English actually. Dragonfly. Maybe that's it. I think it has a dragonfly sitting on top of that, on the edge of that leaf. And the back of the dragonfly is laying in the water, and his head and the wings are just sitting on the top. So I don't know if it's dead or if it's just resting there. I have no idea, but I'm just going to shoot it. And I am going to use the polarizer for that. And it's just amazing what you can do with a polarizer. So let me try to show you what difference that makes. So put you down for a second, and I'll just make some video with the polarizer here. So I'll start with this flower here. You can see it here. And now watch what happens when I start turning that polarizer. You see that water turning from total black. It's so nice that you can isolate things like this. And let's see, here is that dragonfly. Yes, there it is. And also look at the color of that leaf where it's sitting on. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to try and use that trick with the polarizer, see if I can find some nice compositions with those lily pads. And also on this side, what I noticed, this might even be better. You can see down here, there are all tiny lily pads packed together here on the side. So I'm going to try to find some extra, how do you say that? Some abstract, that's the word. Wow, that had to come from deep. So I'm going to try to take some abstract shots of this, and hopefully this will work. So these are the shots here from the water, and again there is some fog appearing. So it comes, goes, comes, goes. So let's see. Keeping my eyes open here. Beautiful morning. So a good thing to remember when you're using a polarizer is that it usually only works when the sun is coming from a 90 degrees angle into your frame. So if you're shooting straight towards the sun or away from the sun, it just doesn't have that effect that I just showed you. So if you keep the sun 90 degrees from your image, it usually has the most powerful polarization effect. So totally unexpected, there is a deer crossing the road here, and right at this moment we're actually having a bit of a stare down. So he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. He's standing in a bit of a dark spot there. But it's actually quite funny because you can see all those greens, and then right in between is only the head of this deer. And there was a second one that left that side. So I think it's here waiting for the other one. So I'm gonna try to move a little bit to this side, see if I can get that head a little bit more separation and show a little bit more of the deer. Yeah, that works nice. Oh, I wish I had that 150 to 400 now, just a little bit more reach. What I have to do with the 100 to 400, which is not a shame, but I would have loved to have that 500 now with the teleconverter on. So this is it for today's video. I think a couple of really nice moody fog images, then those abstract ones with the boardwalk, some lily pads here, even a deer in the forest. You know, beautiful day, you know, so much different shots, and especially with the polarizer on this lake, it was just really nice to do that. And I have to say that I took a nasty fall back there. There was a ditch in the ground that I didn't see, so I fell over and hit a stick here, so I'm a bit bleeding from my ear at the moment, but everything is okay except for that. So camera is in good shape. I think the hospital where I'm filming on is in good shape, so yeah, quite lucky that nothing broke except for my ear, but I can still hear myself, so should be fine in a couple of days, I guess. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please push that thumbs up button. You will massively help this channel to grow. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this video, of these locations. If there's any questions that you have, please leave them in the comments. I always like to engage with everybody watching this channel. So if you didn't already, there is a subscribe button underneath this video. If you push that and select all on the notification bell, you will get a message when I release my next video. So I hope you'll watch that one too. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.